Okay, so this is part two of the hip workout series. Okay, so we're gonna do a little warm up in case that you didn't do a warm up because I did a warm up for the first one. So let's do the same for the second one. Okay, so you're gonna be lying on your back and I'm facing the other way so you can kind of see better, I guess you could say. So let's start with some hip sways. Let's see how that feels. You feel stiff? Do you feel like you can't get all the way over? Just feel your body. Okay. And as I said to you before in the last video, is that with this warm up helps to create space in your spine so you can move better. Okay. Because, we have gravity and with all the pressure, it starts to get compressed. And then if you're sitting for long periods of time, that too gets all compressed. So creating space in your joints helps give you more mobility in your body. Okay, so let's start there. Okay, so let's do some hip tilts. So tilt your hip away from you and then tilt it towards you. Okay, pelvic tilts, this is called tilting forward and back. Okay. And don't overdo it. You just want movement. That's really all you want to aim for. And then also kind of feel if which way is easier and which way is harder. For some people, tilting back is harder. For some people, tilting forward is harder. Okay, so just know what that feels like. All right. Then we're gonna let's throw in some hip sways in there just to see in between if that's made a difference at all. Okay. If it did, great. If it didn't, that's okay too. Right. Then we can move on and see. Let's do some so some circles, hip circles. So don't go too fast if this is something that is new to you. And having your hip hands, your fingertips on your hip bones kind of gives you some feedback. So you're going to feel the hip circles being drawn on the mat, and you can also feel it on your fingertips, how your hips are going around in a circle. All right. And make sure your hip circles are circular or as circular as possible. And trying to get rid of those edges, trying to get rid of the ovals, and then going the opposite direction. Okay. So we're going to do some hips. So glutes, glute meads. And then let's do some hip sways again and see if that made a difference for you. If it did, great. If it didn't, well, that's okay too. There's no right or wrong here. Okay. And doing this in between just kind of gives you an indication of like, okay, what's the difference after doing one little exercise and seeing if that did anything at all? Okay. So let's move on from there and let's just do some hip tipping, pushing one hip down, then the other hip down. So remember, you want your hips to be on the mat. So we're not lifting our bums up. Okay, so we're still lying on our back and we're just pressing one hip down, then pressing the other hip down. And you might have heard me say this before in that other video. This is probably my favorite out of them all because you can feel it elongating on one side. So the side that you push down, you can feel it lengthening. And then when you push the other side down, you can feel that lengthening. Okay, let's do a few more. And let's go back to those hip sways and see if you notice a difference. See, that one makes the biggest difference for me, but that could be different for you. That's okay. And then let's do this one, the figure eight, the infinity sign. So go a little slower and draw your infinity or figure eight and see how much of a figure eight it is. Oh, yeah, definitely easier on one side for me than the other. How about for you? And let's go in the opposite direction. Yeah, a little bit of a brain exercise here, right? How fun is this? Yes. So if you're ever feeling stiff, this is the stuff that you need to do. Just get on the mat, spend 5 minutes, and you're going to feel a lot better. Oh, no, all of a sudden my shape changed. All right, and let's do some hip sways again. Okay, so let's do some glutes and hips. We're gonna do side lying. Okay, And I think you can see me better this way. Okay, sideline. So in terms, you want your spine as neutral as possible. So yeah, I guess you could be here, but then you're not neutral. So I always suggest being neutral. So lying on your side. Okay, so you're gonna bend the bottom knee so you don't fall forward or backwards. So you can bend it as far up as possible or whatever feels comfortable. Oh, my shoulder, this is bothering my shoulder, so I'm gonna have to do this. Okay, this is better. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna be doing start with some clamshells. All right. So my heels are in line with my bum. Okay, so here's my bum, and my heels should be right behind. And in terms of the angle, you don't want it completely tucked. You want like just a little bit of a bend, like halfway of a bend. Okay, so I want your top hand behind your hip, and it could be down here, it could be up here, it could be anywhere here. And this really acts as a little bit of a bumper. So you know if you're rotating your hips back. Okay, so just like the other exercise where we're doing the side or the lying on your back, all we're doing is moving our leg inside the hip socket. So nothing else is changing. So nothing else in your body is changing other than just your leg opening and closing. Okay, so that's why this is here. So if you move back, you're pushing into your hand and you can see and feel that. Okay, so you're just going to open and you're going to close. You're going to open and you're going to close. So if you notice, my top hip is directly above my bottom hip. It's okay to be in front and opening. Now you won't be able to open this far, but it's not about how far you open. It's about what are you feeling back here, your glute medius. Okay, and close. So I'm gonna stay stacked. Open, squeeze that hip, and close. Okay, the biggest mistake people make is they do this. Okay, they're doing that. Okay, so I want you to just open, squeeze it, and then close. Open, squeeze, inhale, close. Exhale, tuck your belly in first, then squeeze. And the belly tucking, when you do that, then you can't move around. Okay? So that's why it's important to keep that belly button tucked in and just focusing your leg bone moving inside that hip socket so your hips aren't moving. All right, let's do a few more. Let's go 10, 9, 8, good. 7, that's it. 6, getting tired. 5, 4, 3, good. Here's 2, and one more. You see how I'm squeezing and holding? Yeah. And then releasing. Okay. Little Bernie, right? So you don't want to be doing just moving your legs up and down. I want you to feel that contraction and I want you to focus on squeezing it more. And squeezing more doesn't necessarily mean you got to move more. I just want you to get that body awareness, more like muscle awareness, and engage that hip. Okay. So now we're going to move on. We're going to move our leg back. So where's your leg? If I was to look down my body, I can't see my leg. If you can see your leg, let alone your toes, then your legs are too far forward. And then now you're going to get into your hip flexor. So if at any point that you're not feeling it back here and you're feeling it in your hip flexor, your leg has traveled forward. Okay, maybe not quite that forward, but forward. See that? I'm in my hip flexors. But if I keep my leg back, I can't see my toes. All right. I want your hands on your hip and I want you to create a letter U like this. Okay, maybe a letter C. I want you to push your hip down and lift your leg. I want you to relax your toes so it's pointing towards the floor. Okay. And lift. So see that? I'm going to push my hip down and I'm going to lift my leg. So what I'm not doing is I'm not scrunching through the waist. All right, guys? You want to push your hip down, tuck your belly button in, move your leg back, toe to the floor, heel to the ceiling. And I want you to relax your leg. I want you to make it feel like dead weight. Make your leg feel as heavy as possible. So that means you're lifting from your hip and not lifting from your leg. Okay. And I want you to tap the floor, touch the floor. The reason why I want you to touch the floor is that you're making sure that you're engaged in that glute med, okay, and that you're not using your quads. All right, lift and lower. And when you have your hands on your hips, then my nose is getting stuffy all of a sudden. Then you're not scrunching through the waistline. Okay, so keeping your belly a little snug, make your leg feel like dead weight, and think about lifting your heel up. How high? Don't worry about how high. Think about feeling that muscle turn on versus how high is my leg supposed to go. Don't focus on the range, focus on the feeling. Okay, you feeling it burning? It should, because mine are. All right, that's your glute meats. All right. Yeah, I can see I'm getting tired. I'm starting to scrunch, right? My legs, yeah, my glute meat's getting tired. I saw it in the camera. I might not have felt it, but I saw it. All right, couple more. Here's three. That's it. Here's two, and one more, and one. Okay, drop the leg. Put a little bend in your knee. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Okay, this is your glute meat. All right, let's move on. Let's do some leg presses. Okay. Excuse me. We're going to lift the leg. I want your leg in line with your body. Okay, so this is not in line with your body. This is not in line with your body. In line. So if you put your arms down your side, there. Move your leg back so you can't see your toe. I can't see my toes. If I was to even look down, can't see anything. I can't see my toe, can't see my foot, can't see my leg. Okay, so you should be the same thing. Tuck your belly button in, put your hands on your waist. You're going to put a little bend in your knee and you're going to press and squeeze. You're going to put a little bend in your knee and you're going to press and squeeze. When I'm doing this, I still can't see my leg. Okay, you got to squeeze your butt. You can put your hands here if you need to. Squeeze. So my foot is flexed. Okay, this is point, this is flexed. I want you to press with your heel, squeeze and hold. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, squeeze, and hold. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, squeeze, and hold. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, squeeze, and hold. Tuck your belly in. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, squeeze, and hold. Tuck your belly in. Inhale, release. A few more. Let's go. 10, 9, hold it. 8, hold it. 7, it's like, how can she be yelling at me through a video? I'm not yelling at you. 4, I'm just having fun with you here while we are in pain. 3, keep going. Here's 2. Somehow I feel like I miscounted there. I think I went from 9 to 5. And last one, squeeze and hold. Press through that heel. Move that leg back a pinch for 3, 2, 1, and yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. On to the next. We're going to make circles with our legs. Okay. So remember that seam of your pants right here? That letter T, not your waistband, but right here. I want you to get on underside of that seam. Get right under. I want you to reach for that seam. And what I mean by that is I want you to engage that the gluteus right under that seam. Okay? Ow, my hair just got caught. Okay. So bend the bottom knee. Okay. Lift that leg up. Point your toe. Okay. So numbers on a clock. Okay. Think about your toes reaching when you go from 12 o'clock when you go clockwise. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And I want, excuse me, I want you to think the circle to be size of a grapefruit. Okay, size of a grapefruit. Move your leg back. You can't see your toe, let alone your leg. Belly button in, hips not moving. It is locked right here in your lower belly. Point your toe. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, nice and slow. And I want you to reach back. Remember that underside of that seam? I want you to reach, trace your leg movement on the underside of the seam. 3, 4, you cannot be going faster than me. 5, keep your knee straight. Here's 6, reach back. Here's 7. Here's 8. Just when you can't go slower, we're going to go even slower. Reach back. Here's 9. And here's 10. All right, let's take a little break. Okay. How do you like them apples? Huh? Okay. So that was clockwise. And guess what? We got to go the opposite direction. That would be counterclockwise. Yes, you are correct. Counterclockwise. Okay. So point your toe, stack your hips, belly button tucked in. Hips are locked. They are not moving. We are not dancing, making waves through our hips. All right, counterclockwise, starting at 6 o'clock. Reach up, back, and around. Reach up, back behind you. Oh, 2, 3, 4. Draw circles. 5. Get rid of those edges. 6. Oh, 7. Reach back. 8. You cannot see anything that's going on back there. Here's 9. And one more, and here's 10. Done. All right. Let's do one more for fun. What? For fun? How is this fun? Well, it is fun. Okay. This one, you get to see your toes, but only for a short period of time. Okay. I need something to drink. Give me 1 second here. I had a piece of chocolate. And that's giving me a dry mouth for some reason. Okay. So you are here. Lock your hips. Everything is tight. Hands on your hips so you can't feel it moving around. You're gonna point your toe forward and you're gonna flex your heel back. You're gonna point your toes forward and you're gonna flex your heel back. So it looks like this. You're gonna point and flex. So don't go too far forward, okay? It's just a little bit. Point and flex. That is it. So you are here. Point forward, flex. Oh, hang on. Let me start over again. I want that leg in line with your body. Here. Okay, not here, not here, in line with your body. So when you're here, you can feel your hips moving, or you can feel them activated. Okay, point and flex, point and flex. Don't move your hips. 3 and flex. 4. It's more about the back than the forward. 5. Good. 6. That's it. 7 and flex, point and flex, 9 and flex, and 10 and flex. Oh boy. Okay, line your back. Hopefully, I remembered all of that so we can do it all on the other side. Okay, guys, ready? Hang on, let me see. I think I'm going to be here. I'll flip myself around so you can see. Okay, so we did clams first. Okay, heels in line with your bum. Okay, belly button on, hands on your hips. You're going to open and you're going to close. See how nothing is moving? Okay, so what we're not doing is this. See that? Squeeze and release. So it's about squeezing. Put your hand back here. You're going to feel that muscle turn on. Squeeze and release. 5, 6. That's it. 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Good. Okay, what do we do next? Let me think. I can't remember. I think it was hang on. Clams. What else do we do? Oh, don't worry about it. We're gonna do it all. Oh, leg presses, leg presses. Let me move up a little bit so you can see. That's what it was. Okay, same position. Nothing has changed. You're gonna lift the leg. Leg is in line with my arm. I gotta move it back because I could see my toe. I can't see my toe. Okay, lift the leg. Put a little bend in your knee. So we're not bending too much. Soften the knee and press. Move that leg back. Move that knee back. Yes, you. A little bend in your knee and press. Squeeze that butt. Put your hand on your butt. and you can feel it. 3, good. 4, squeeze and hold. 5, squeeze and hold. 6, squeeze and hold. 7, squeeze and hold. 8, that's it. 9, and one more. Press, squeeze, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay, so now we're doing circles. Remember, it's back there. If we do it here in front, you're going to feel your hip flexors. So if I do it here, watch, you can see my hip flexors activated. I can see my toes. You can see how it's bent forward, right? Move that leg back, point your toe, tuck your belly button in, hands on your hips. Ready? And 10, 9. You cannot be going faster than me. 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm going to go even slower. 4, reach back, get under that seam. 3, reach for it. Here's 2, and we're going to keep going other direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Move that leg back. 4, you can't see your leg or your toe. 3, get rid of those squares, edges. Here's 2, and one more, and 1. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, hang on. I gotta fix my earbuds here. There we go. Okay, what was the last one? What was oh yeah, point and flex, point and flex. Okay, let me just show you here. Legs in line. We're not down here. Left, we're gonna point forward, you're gonna flex back. So make sure we're not waving through the spine or your hips. Everything is locked down, just your leg is moving inside that socket. Tuck your belly button in. Lift your leg. Ready? Point and flex back. Point forward and flex back. 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Here's 4. Lift that leg higher. 5, just a pinch higher. 6, and flex, and point, and flex. 8, and flex, and 9, and flex, and 10, and flex, and done. All right? Lie on your back. That side seemed faster. I don't know. Was it faster? Do some hip sways. Hey, you know what? For fun, let's do some hamstrings because we haven't really touched on the hamstrings yet. Okay. So remember, I might have said it to in the, yes, I did. In the first video, closer your heels are to your bum, more glutes. Further your heels are away from you, hamstrings. Okay. A lot of people have tight hammies. Okay. So we're going to walk your heels just a little bit further away, just a little bit further away. Okay. And keeping your hips on the floor. Okay. Keeping my bum on the floor. All you're going to do is dig your heels in and then relax. Nothing's moving. I'm not lifting. All I'm doing is digging my heels into the floor. Dig my heels into the floor and then relax. Inhale, exhale, tuck your belly in, dig your heels into the floor and relax. Okay. So if you're not really feeling it, let's walk your heels a little bit further away. Okay, let's try that because I wasn't really feeling. Mine need to be further away. Okay. Inhale, exhale, dig in. 10. And then if your hips lift up a little bit, that's okay. Here's 9. It's about the digging the heels in. Relax. Here's 8. Do you feel your hammies now? Good. Here's 7. That's it. Here's 6. Which side is digging harder? Your left or your right? Try to make it even. Here's 5, 6, 7. I think I'm at 7. Okay, let's do 5 more. 5. I lost count. It doesn't really matter. Here's 4. Good, good. Palms facing up. Here's 3. Good, good. Here's 2. And one more. And 1. Let's do another set. We're going to walk your heels a pinch further away. Okay. If at any point it feels too hard, you just walk your heels back towards you a little bit. If you're finding it a little bit too easy, you can walk your heels away from you. Okay. I'll give you the option of doing a little bit of a glute bridge as you dig in. Okay. We're going to alternate this time. Okay. So I'm going to lift my hips up. I'm going to dig my left heel in, and then I'm going to dig my right heel in. I'm going to dig my left heel in. I'm going to dig my right heel in. Dig my left heel in. Dig my right heel in. And you got 10. You got 9. You got 8. You got 7. Make sure your toes are in line with your knees, in line with your hips. You got 6. You got 5. Palms facing up. Here's 4. Keep your hips level. Here's 3. Here's 2. And here's 1. Come on down. Good. Hip sways. Or if you want to do spinal twists, do hip sways, then do spinal twists. This way. Look at that. Loosey goosey, right? Spinal twist if you want. Why not? This always feels good. Nice to have a little break, right? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Just kidding. Okay, let's do one more set of hammies. This time I'm going to show you first. Okay, you're going to come into a glute bridge, just a little one. Okay, see that? Just a little one. You're going to lift the opposite. So it's not about how high you lift the opposite leg. It's about digging in with the leg that's on the floor and dig in and dig in. Okay, we're going to do magic number 20, 10 on each leg. Ready? Arms at your side. If that's too intense, you just walk your heels a little bit closer towards you. And if you want, you can have your bum on the floor. Lots of options here. Ready? And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, this slow. 4, 5, 6. Oh, let's go slower. 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There you go. Hug those knees, rock your hips from side to side. Feet back on the floor, hip sways. Yeah, look at that. Do you feel like that in your hips? Loose? Yeah, there you go. All right. There's your glutes and hip workout. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. See you soon. Crazy hair. Bye.